And you'll
I
often
think we
find
are
the
going to
best
go into
players.
interviewing these teams soon.
Okay. We'll get them dropped in here with us.
Yeah, so looking at these two rosters, we have on LessThanThree, we have Arikitty, Ashas, Pumpkin's Art, Alta Lyra, and Pancakes. And on Perseid Paradise, we've got Doodle a Bear. With is that a snowman emoji inside of their name? I love that. Minty, Less, Cupid, LessThanThree, ironically, and Hyperfish.
Well, there you go. You might have some ex-teammates.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we are just waiting for the people to get in here. Right.
Okay.
It looks like we've got Zai headed up in here. Let's get them on stage.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the stream.
Yippee.
Yes, welcome to the tournament. Zai, and what position do you hold on this team, sir?
So I am the coach for Perseid Parade.
Okay, great. And what can you
Nice.
tell us about this this upcoming team?
So we play a fullest comp. It's a stringer and then a T-Tech, a decav, and a range blaster.
Ooh.
So we focus on just playing to our best weapons and working it out as we go.
Yeah, lots of stringers players today. That's really interesting. It's not a common weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill.
And do you have any rivalries with any teams?
We don't really. We want to be like the best team, at least in North America. In this competition, at least. But we don't have any like outright rivalries with any team.
Okay, just here to duke it out with whoever's in front of you.
Yeah.
Right on.
And yeah, is there anything specific we should watch out for?
So Hyper is a 2700 XP stringer. So he's gonna be playing range because one of our players switches broke. But look out for his range because it's also like really good.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, and
Yeah,
do you know how long
a good
that
range blaster player
these
can be
players
very
have been?
scary.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you know how long these players have been playing together for now?
So as a team, they've been together for 5 weeks, and most of them have like zero comp experience prior to this.
Okay, so we're starting in fresh team.
Yep.
All right, I like it. Well,
Always
keep
great to
it
see.
fresh. Yeah. All right, well, thanks a lot for that info on your team, Zai. We look forward to seeing them out there. We salute you.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, and now I believe we have Ezio. Am I correct on that?
I'm hoping it'll either be Ezio, one of the coaches, or maybe one of the team managers. We'll see who hops in for LessThanThree.
Yeah. um, but it is really weird because if Hyper is a stringer player and they already have a stringer player on the team, at least from what I heard, there's another stringer player on the last team. That's like 3/4 of a stringer player per team. 3 stringer players in 4 teams. That is very interesting because I almost never run into stringer players.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be interesting. They might even go double stringer.
And it does actually look like we're going to have Lemon in here instead of Ezio. Got that information incorrect, Ed.
Hello there.
But yeah, welcome to stream.
Yo.
All right, Lemon. So you're representing the LessThanThree team. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. And what role do you play on this team?
I'm the coach for them.
Nice, nice. So you've got all the insight. You've been playing with these players. How do you feel about your team today?
Um, honestly, there's a good chance they come last, maybe fifth.
Always inspiring.
Always, got to keep high hopes.
You gotta be a bit more optimistic than that, I think.
I'm sure they are
I
thrilled
think
to hear
realism
that.
comes well.
Well, that's all right. What sort of comps should we expect from this team today?
Ari usually plays sharp. More of a Zuka merchant, but
I see.
isn't every shot player. Oshist plays Dread and Gao. He might have dropped Gao. I forgot. Pumpkin plays Carbon and Paintbrush. Despite how many times I tell them to drop Paintbrush, they still play
The
Paintbrush.
melee player, I see.
Yeah. Alta plays Decav and Swords. Meta picks. And Pancakes plays Bow. And that's it.
Another one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, Stringer.
We're 4 for 4 on that.
All right. We're starting a trend.
Maybe they'll go to pencil soon enough. Like, you never know.
All right. Well,
Yep.
we're excited to see what LessThanThree can put together. Do you have anything special planned for us? Do you know if they're planning any weird strategies on a certain map or mode?
No clue.
All right, just rolling the dice. I love
They
it.
could go like quad sploosh. I have absolutely no idea.
Seems like they're a very unhinged type of team then.
Yeah. They're impossible to work with.
Well, let's hope they play better than that. All right. Well, thanks a lot for that insight on your team, Lemon. Good luck out there.
Thanks for having me. Good luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
So that was that. Definitely, I think they need a little more faith in their team.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's hidden under this smoldering intensity. But yeah, who knows? Maybe LessThanThree has all the support they need. I'm sure they're excited to face the Perseid parade. And we got our first matches coming up. So Splat Zones, we're starting off in Mahi Mahi. How do you feel about this one, Asect?
This map is really interesting because I think this map is very good at a high level of play, but I think at a certain point there's kind of an inflection where it starts to get worse the less experienced the teams are on it, because it's very much a no-nonsense. It's like kind of just a test of the fundamentals. That's why top players like it so much. And if you don't play the mode correctly, then you can very easily get locked in your spawn, which is extremely rough on this map. And so it can be kind of snowbally if both teams don't have too much experience with how to prevent stuff like wipes on zones.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think the shifting terrain part of the map is also very interesting. It happens pretty darn early on in the game, but you still have that sort of opening where the map is a lot more restrictive, and it can lead to some really interesting plays because it kind of forces everybody into mid and forces fights more than you'd see otherwise.
Yeah,
but here we are getting into the game.
All right, what do we got on Perseid Parade? So we got the Decavitator, and then, or hold on, those are the old. That was LessThanThree. And then we've got a bunch of stealth jumps on both sides. Some Ninja Squid. And here we go. We're starting off with Splat Zones.
Yeah, and here both of the bows having a bow battle, and it looks like both of them go down. Pancakes won the bow battle, but L3 on the decav pushed up and managed to flank them, trading them out. And that's going to be 2 down, going to a single bomb.
Yeah.
And you see Minty taking space, playing up and forward, fighting with that. Kind of sliding around there a little bit. And that bubble is in a really interesting spot. The enemy team is playing inside of it, and a decav flanking behind them, getting some really interesting plays out.
Yeah, a lot of specials are going to be coming out now, and here comes they're trying to retake the zone from Perseid Parade. Oh, one goes down in the zone, and they're able to take it back. LessThanThree is in the lead, but 2 go down, 1 on each.
Yeah, so far this game has been very close. Neither team has managed to get a super strong foothold on the other, and we're seeing a disconnect.
Oh,
I do believe that is
early.
grounds for a replay right now, since we're so short into the game.
yeah, we're going to see.
So are they going to
Teams
replay
either
it?
play it out. They could just let one team way down the. Ah, there we go.
There we go.
No worries, folks. We'll get them back in here. We'll get them all reset. Make sure that connection is stable, and kick off round 2 again.
Yeah, that was. I kind of saw that coming. That lobby in general was
You had a
felt a bit
feeling.
laggy. But both of those comps are very interesting. The bow v bow, especially tri-stringer, because that is kind of the least preferred bow in the meta right now.
Yeah.
For both, well string is a very strong option. I think it's very underrated.
Yeah,
It has
people
a
like
lot
the
of tools
spread.
at its disposal.
Mm-hmm.
And then reflex as well is also fairly underrated as a really interesting like aggro supportive hybrid thing. With lots of paint and the one shot. Kind of reminds me of H3 from Splatoon 2 in a lot of ways.
Got those qualities.
But then Tri-Stringer is kind of it's competing with Pencil in a lot of ways. In sort of the same thing of direct line of sight most of the time, just trying to snipe people.
Yeah, like that alternative charger, and it's got that advantage with the pegs, so that sure you might not get someone with the straight shot, but I think a lot of players are learning that if you land the pegs in a nice spot where someone's just chilling behind trying to reload on some ink, that could just be a dead squid right there.
Mm-hmm. And something like Wellstring as well is very good at that sort of thing because the shots are very spread out at a long range. And they actually cover a pretty threatening amount of space.
It's true. It's true. So it'll be interesting to see how non-stringer players deal with those pegs coming down on them, and how the stringer players try and not get taken out like they did in this earlier start. But here we go. Start number 2. Looks like they're holding on to the same compositions.
Yeah, I think that is in the DC rules here. And I actually didn't quite notice the comp on their side. Hyperfish on the boat, but there's also Cupid on the roller and L3 on the decap. And roller and decap are a very interesting combination. That is double bubble.
Yeah. So they're going to be using that on the zone. Down goes the strange. Oh, that was the camper. Here we go. They're trying to take the zone for LessThanThree. Can't quite seal the deal yet.
Ooh, Hyperfish getting 2, getting 1 with a chump. And the bubble coming out on the zone as well. This is a very strong piece of momentum for LessThanThree here, or Perseid Paradise there. Sorry, I saw the... It's funny that Cupid also has a LessThanThree in their name, wearing the team tag of the enemy team here. But here comes the strikes coming out, getting the stamper here. That's going to put LessThanThree in a very interesting position here. And the splatter shot flanking in as well, getting 1, but potentially going down to the boat right here. Oh my gosh, that was a teleport.
Yeah. Little connection issues.
But that is going to be 2 down on Perseid Paradise. This is LessThanThree's chance to sort of find their way in here. And that they almost cap the zone, but don't quite. Those strikes are coming out, but is it going to be enough? But Perseid Paradise is doing a very good job of holding this zone, but LessThanThree has managed to break through finally.
Yeah. A significant, pivotal point in the match. Still got a lot of time though on the clock, so these squids have time to fight, duke it out. We're seeing a jump back to spawn. He's gonna come back with a special.
Oh, we have a DC again.
No,
but I believe that's from the opposite team. Or maybe not.
Same team as last time.
And at this point, I'm not sure if the replay, if they are eligible for a replay, they may just have to stick this out, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
That's true. It is a team game. Everybody's got to be present when you lose a man. The team suffers.
Yeah, but they are still fighting their best. Tri-Stringer getting chumps out on the zone. They need to get They need to get something really strong here, but unfortunately they just can't quite make it in.
The final boss of Splatoon 3, the disconnect. Unfortunate, but it was cool to see two stringers on each side, just going back and forth with the pegs. Sometimes hard to see who was really in an advantage, but that's why, these games are fast paced. They go back and forth very quickly.
Yes, indeed. And that was also, I think it's easy to make fun of this game's netcode, but it's also surprisingly robust. I was stuck on 1 megabit per second internet for a couple of months, and the game was unplayably laggy, but I managed to stay connected the entire time.
Sometimes it can the connection can be quite an issue. You can set up a wired connection, get an adapter for your Switch base. I would highly recommend that if you're planning on playing in tournaments and stuff like that. It really helps with these kind of issues.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but that's how things are sometimes in any online game.
Yeah, they just gotta roll with the punches.
Mhm.
Let's see if they can
but
bounce back.
Yeah, and going into this next match as well, we're going on to TC Hagglefish, which is definitely an interesting map.
Yeah,
it's kind of your bread and butter. It's one of those fairly basic solid maps. It's inoffensive. Like, I feel like it's one of those maps that's easy to forget exists, but I don't think anyone dislikes it. It's kind of just there.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I know a lot of people, their go-tos would probably be another map, let's say like Inkblot or, even Mahi Mahi Resort. But Hagglefish, it's there. And a lot of teams take advantage of certain spots. You can go around on both sides. If you got a sneaky little ninja squid on your team that likes to flank a lot, I think that Hagglefish is a great map for those kind of players.
But I do think there has to be some care taken in the games. Just because it's really easy to, with any map that gives you more freedom of movement, more routes to take, you need to be more disciplined about how you move through the map. Because it's very easy to accidentally take both flanks at the same time, which is going to be very hard for the other two players to support both of those flanks at the same time.
That's true.
So it requires a lot of coordination as well.
Yeah, but if you don't have the support from your team, you can only be so good.
Yep. And I think the map as well, it's very long. And so you really need a lot of it favors, because the map is so long, it favors very long pushes. Where you get special sort of chaining in one after the other, and you get like continued like aggro cycle and trying to get the enemy team on a sort of staggered loop where they're always one down. And if you can force that, then you can get some crazy pushes off. But if you can't make that like sort of long push, if your team can't manage to have that sort of continuation when you start to get an advantage, to continue that advantage going, it can be pretty rough, because you have to take so much space to get from mid to the KO point on this map.
Yeah, you can get locked out in the middle in that sort of back and forth war, that war of attrition that doesn't really go anywhere. And like you said, if you're a team that can chain in those specials to really give yourself more ground, that's sort of the name of the game here in the competitive matchups, is taking advantage of those specials to be able to make more advantageous pushes, in my opinion.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Bo plays out on this map. I think we can expect a lot of players on the sort of glass tents overlooking mid, because that's a very strong position, especially for Bo. You also have some angles you can shoot that normal backlines can't, like over the left and right stacks on mid. I think you can shoot over those with the bow and sort of pressure that space behind it.
Yeah, that is a huge strategy, I would say, for that position. because a lot of those other weapons, you know, they're using all that terrain, all those little ledges on the side, you know, to try and get a little bit closer, get in range to do some damage. So it'll be fun to see if they stick with the stringers.
Yes, indeed. And here we are going into game 2 with the unfortunate DC from LessThanThree, from Perseid Paradise. LessThanThree is up 1 point, but we'll have to see if Perseid Parade can get this back.
Okay, we still got the stringers, same kits. They got the thermal ink too, so they're going to be tracking these squids wherever they go, or at least trying to.
And we do have a decav on both teams now, so we sort of have bow decav and then a shooter. I think the main distinction between these teams and the main difference in their comps is one of them has a roller where the other one has a dreadringer. And both of those weapons play very differently, so I think any distinctions we'll see in the playstyle is directly because of what those weapons are doing. You see the decav going on the right and getting a trade on the zap. That's pretty big. That's going to really hamper their cooler output.
Oh my goodness, a nice trade in the mid right there, and the decav is trying to square off with the other one, but he gets taken out.
And here, and Alta Lyra is flanking on the right, starting their seeing if they can get something done. And here comes Asuka getting one,
Yeah.
Potentially getting the zap here as well, and it is just the zap running away. But I don't know if that team has full track of the roller. I didn't even see them on the overhead cam. And here we can see the roller is coming in from behind. We're going to see if they can cause some chaos. They are making their approach very easy to see, and they do go down because of that fact. And the zap dropping to try to fight the tower.
Getting in there, and they got one. They have two. He's trying to chase him.
It's looking close. The decav is managing to stall out this fight. But here comes Cupid on the roller, following up and getting back up for their team. And Hyper on the zap, continuing to go off and getting a lot of picks here.
Yeah. Now it's time for the counter push. They're throwing out specials, but they're getting bogged down by their pegs.
And the ball goes out, but it gets shredded pretty quickly, but that's not going to stop the decav from trying to hold that space, but they get taken down by LessThanThree here. And the decav continuing to get some really nice kill streaks going. Getting the jump camp on the tower as well.
So keep this tower out of our sight. Trying to paint up, get some control. Hopping off the tower. They're not going to fight again.
Yeah, it looks like we're approaching some sort of a stalemate in mid here, but with the Dreadringer going down, that's going to give Perseid Parade just a little bit of advantage to try to capitalize off of. And here we see Hyper on the zap, holding down the front line, with the decav playing slightly behind them. Very interesting formation they have, but they're very good at snowballing these plays. They just need to get the tower there. They are moving up quickly, but the tower has been left behind.
Keep the tower from going forward. He's getting pressured a little bit. He says, I have the high ground.
And here comes the decav trying to clutch things up, but they get taken down by the roller, who's now sharking on right, trying to use curling bombs to get some picks and to get themselves into some threatening spots as well.
They get taken down. Now they're pushing. They're through the checkpoint, and they've turned it around. A slight lead in favor of Perseid Paradise, sorry.
And it looks like this lead is going to continue happening here, because they have some very good momentum, but it has been taken down, and it is just this zap coming in from behind, and they get taken down by the decav.
A lot of their momentum, and now they're trying to get back control of the zone. They've got some specials too. Let's see who engages.
Oh, here comes L3 on the decav, flanking around the right, but they don't manage to find anyone, and they end up going down for it.
Now 2 down for them. Oh, we've got the Reef Slider trying to push them back. Let's see if he gets the
Ooh.
jump.
Very nice jump camp there.
Trying to avoid those pegs. And now it's time to push.
Yeah, here we see LessThanThree is managing to continue on their push, trying to get some momentum because the lead is very close right now. They don't really need that much. And here we see they are very close to getting the lead, and that is going to be a lead swap with only 1 minute left in the game. And they managed to break that checkpoint as well.
They are up on the right side there, causing devastation. The roller tries to come down to stop it, but he's even getting pushed back.
And that is going to be the roller jumping out and the bow going down, which might be just enough of advantage for PC Paradise to take control. And the zap does end up going down, but this decaf playing around behind with the bubble at the ready.
I'm gonna use my refill to get out of here. The decaf says, no, I'm gonna hunt you down.
And
pancakes.
yeah, both of these bows are sort of having a fight from halfway across the map. And here comes Cooler out on the tower. They need to make a play now, because as this stands, they won't be able to get in. The zap going forward, trying to fight up. It goes down in the process. And that is going to be just the roller left alive.
Yep.
And that will be game.
Well played, well played. I mean, they had a few pushes back and forth. It was like you said earlier, it takes a long time to get through the map, so they had to do these immense stretches, these immense pushes, but it looks like LessThanThree closed it out. And they'll be moving on. 2-0.
Yeah, very nice game. It was unfortunate that one of those games was a DC win, but
yeah,
that's just what happens sometimes. Unfortunately, sometimes the solution is just to fix your internet if you can. And if you can't, then...
And sign up for
I know
the
how it feels.
Yeah.
That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, though. Unfortunate, but that just happens.
I'm sure we'll see more of Perseid Parade in the coming events. Let's give them a hand. Good job, everybody. Nice round 2. Closing it out. We're not even going to make it to our Rainmaker today, Asect. What's going on?
Yep, not going to see any Rainmaker here. Maybe we'll see it in the next set, though.
Yeah, we've got, after this, we've got the semifinals and the finals. Finals will be a best of 5, so surely we'll get a few more rounds out of that, at least. But it's okay, a quick 2-0. Sometimes those games, they're pretty quick, especially on tower control. We saw the first match between, Baguette Squad and Calamari Damasi. That first one was nice and even, it was back and forth, Mako Mart, kind of that classic back and forth match. But then the tower control match came along and boom, Baguette just took it away.
Yeah, but that was a very close game on both sides. Both of them had some very high points pushes.
Oh, yeah.
But LessThanThree just managed to get that one big push off, and Perseid Parade just wasn't quite able to get back from it in time.
Yeah, that tower control match was really, really back and forth. I couldn't tell who was going to win at first, and even right until the end, Perseid Parade was in position for a counter push. They were, at least they had the opportunity. So it's always nice to see, even though, LessThanThree, they just had their number.
Yeah, but I do believe we are going to be going on a short break while we wait between sets.